welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smartphones really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Film My Run on Zwift. My name is Stephen Cousins and we are broadcasting live on Facebook and on YouTube. While we're getting everything ready, it would be absolutely awesome if you could go and subscribe to the Film My Run YouTube channel and also the Zwift Live YouTube channel. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/filmmyrun and also Twitter at filmmyrun, and the website is www.filmmyrun.com. It's very nearly time, so sit back, relax, don't forget to drop me a ride on and watch me do all the hard work. We on already? Have I missed the opening? Oh no. I'm late. We're off. Oh, heart rate strap. Get a move on, Cousins, says Partridge. Right, now, I need to tell you, though, I'm not doing the whole thing today. I'm only running for 5k because of a long run tomorrow. But I will be around. I'm staying. I'm just not running. So, I'll catch everybody up. and then Sarah Jacobson is in charge after that. Tina Beard's here for an hour. Victoria is going to a gig tonight. Ryan Downey is there as well. Let me catch a few people up. Marcus, I thought you weren't coming tonight. Hello, Jason Mitchell. Marcus is in chat there. Heather's there. Sarah Jacobson is there. And she says, oh, look, Stephen is missing. Everyone's saying, wait, Marcus is here? I don't know why I'm here, says Paul. Yoko's there. Oh, Yoko should have the red beacon, or Ryan, do you have the red beacon? Somebody's got the red beacon. I don't know who it is. Right, Paul Hayward, I'm going to catch you up there. Hello everyone, and welcome to the penultimate Paris Marathon long run. Marcus says, I can't believe we've only got 2 weeks till the race. Right. So somebody should have the red. It should either be Ryan Downey or Yoko. Yoko, do you have the red beacon? Because I can't see it. Sarah Jacobson says, no, seriously, what happened to Double XP? Did you not read my message on Facebook, Sarah? That you are getting Double XP. It's just that it's not showing on screen. Oh yes, you have been busy, of course, yes. So on Facebook, I did investigate with Zwift HQ, and there's been a little bug in the system, which means that on screen, it's not showing as though you are getting your full XP, your full accelerated XP. But in the background, you are getting it. So you are actually receiving the points. It's just that it's not showing properly on screen. I promise you. Well, I say I promise you. As far as I've been told. Okay. So here's Tina and Jackie Ramos. Let's just run with Tina and Jackie for a bit. So they're going at 8.5. So let's go at 8.5 for a little bit. I need to put camera angles on. The reason I was late is I was busy eating pizza. Hello, Tina. Camera angles on. Right, I think we're all sorted now. Be the Tortoise says, can people join these runs even if they can't keep up or do the whole thing? Yes, of course. So you do whatever pace you like, and you do whatever distance you like. So yes, you can, of course, anyone can join and run for as long or as short a distance as they like at whatever speed they like. But the only thing is, we do actually only have one session left after this. So next week is the final session this year of the Paris Marathon training sessions, and next year it might be something we might do with the London Marathon training sessions or the Boston Marathon training session. To be honest, it just depends where Sarah Jacobson decides she wants to run a marathon. That's all that matters. It's nothing to do with me. It's basically just whatever Sarah Jacobson decides. That's the rule. That's what goes.
Be the Tortoise says, I start my 5k plan on Monday, so UTMB only round the corner. Wow, okay, good luck with that. Well, we will be doing regular training sessions all the way through the summer, so you won't miss out on anything. But this particular series of runs, the last one is next week, 1 hour 55 minutes next week. Marcus says Sarah Jacobson should run Boston next year, and there should be a meet-up in Boston. There is going to be a little bit of a meet-up in Boston this year. I think there are a few Zwifters going to Boston, including Marcus, Victoria, Grace Shin will be there, Cecile Forlan will be there, and who else is going? A few others are going. I know, I'm absolutely sure of it. Medical certificates. Jason said, I had a nightmare with the medical certificate. Had to get it from Sports Medical and just hope it passes. Heather says, we ordered it online and it was approved within 24 hours. And then the Paris Marathon website approved it within a couple of days. Yes. So it's a pretty quick process. Once you get the certificate uploaded to the Paris Marathon website, they are now on the case and they will approve it fairly quickly, seeing as it is only 2 weeks away. Paolo on Twitch says, I see this everywhere. Every time I finish my day run. Oh, I finished my day run. Paolo, nice to have you joining us on Twitch. Thanks for popping in. Marcus says he ordered his medical certificate online as well. So yeah, I mean, France and Italy are really a pain in the backside for medical certificates. Every race you do in France or Italy, you have to have a medical certificate to prove, or basically for insurance purposes. And I mean, I know across the world people have problems with this. In the UK, I mean, it really annoys me, to be honest, because we are doing things to improve our health. And you ask a GP, a doctor over here, to sign a medical certificate, and they won't do it. And they'll only do it if it's a private medical certificate, obviously for which you have to pay. And yet, and I don't want to, I'm at risk of causing a storm here, but you know, you've got people who drink alcohol until they're sick. You've got people who smoke until they're sick. People who do all sorts of things that damage their health, and they get free cover on the National Health Service in this country, and they get free treatment. And yet, we who are doing stuff to improve our health and to help the burden on the NHS by not using the services have to pay for a medical certificate to go and run a marathon. I mean, you know, I'm not denying people their enjoyment of going out and having a few drinks, or, you know, having the odd cigarette here and there if it's what makes you happy. But when you take it to the extent of, you know, and eating donuts until you've got diabetes, you know. Anyway, there we are. Sorry, my little bugbear that I probably shouldn't have bothered mentioning. Sarah Jacobson did not have a single drink this week when she was in the UK. Well done, Sarah. Good work. Be the Tortoise says, yeah, one of the many backwards things about this country. The NHS is great. You know, it is one of the bastions of British life. One of the backbone of this country is the NHS. The free medical health care that we get here, and we're very lucky to have it. But there are a few oddities, strange things about it Marcus says he loves it when Stephen gets political. Well, I try, on a channel like this, which is multicultural, multi-denominational, and open to all sorts of political ideas and social stratas. I try to avoid being overly political because I know running is a great leveler, and we're all different and we all have different points of view, different political persuasions, and running brings us together. So I don't want to polarize people by stating my political agenda, but occasionally I do spout a little. Anyway, okay, so we now have 4 people in our little group. Jackie Ramos, Tina Beard, MS from Germany has joined us as well. Campbell is just behind. Yoko is a couple of minutes behind. Yoko has the red beacon. For those that can see it, unfortunately I can't see Yoko's red beacon, but she does have it. And if Yoko doesn't get all the way through the run today, then Ryan Downey will be second in command of the red beacon. And I have planned this evening, if you're late joining, by the way, I am not running the full distance tonight. We'll see about 5k, possibly a little bit more, but I'm going to then log off on the run itself and Sarah Jacobson will take over. But I will continue streaming for the whole run. It's just that I've got a long run tomorrow, and I am under strict instructions from my new coach, from Stuart, my new coach, to not run loads of miles this week. And I'm already over the amount that he said I should run, and I've got a long run tomorrow. So I am cutting this one slightly short. Well, a lot short today. Although I wonder now, should I run until I hit level 28? Maybe that's what I should do. Run until I hit level 28. How about that? It's not far away, but it probably is more than 5k. Olaf is going to join us soon. He says a damn update on Zwift. So Olaf is doing the update. Sarah Jacobson's level progress has stagnated this week, but we'll give you credit, Sarah, because she has been flying across the Atlantic Ocean twice this week to the UK and back. So, yeah, it's understandable. I had a week about 6 weeks ago where my training fell off the rails because I had to go and work in Cornwall, where Clive Finnemore lives, for about 4 days, and so I had 5 days of no running. Then the week after that I was ill, even though I did try and run. I wasn't very well, so thank you, Marcus. Marcus wants to talk about my crazy 5k this morning. Yeah, so Tina Beard kept me in check yesterday and told me to not go crazy last night on the run last night, because she knew that I was going to try and go a little bit quick on the 5k this morning. So I did do a little bit of a speedy one this morning on the seafront here in Worthing, where we have our local park run. 5 kilometres as fast as I could possibly do it without looking at my watch. That's another of the latest developments in my marathon training, having talked extensively to my self-appointed coach, Stuart. So Stuart has told me to stop looking at my watch so much and run more on feel. He's told me to have confidence in myself rather than relying on pacing strategies and constantly checking my watch to make sure I'm at the right pace. He's basically told me to forget the watch, concentrate on how I feel when I'm running, and just enjoy running fast. So that's what I did in my half marathon last week, and that's what I did in my 5k this morning. And on both occasions, I got the second fastest time I've ever got for those distances. So my second fastest half marathon and my second fastest ever 5k this morning. So Marcus asks the very pertinent question: are you going to look at your watch during the race itself? That's a very good question, and one that at the moment I don't think I have the answer for. Heather. Heather says, just do 5k, Stephen. Don't be tempted by up-leveling. I know, but Heather, it's not far away. I mean, it might only be 2.5 kilometres away. So I've done 2.5k. It might only be another 2.5k and I'll level up. I think I'm okay to level up, Heather. I think I am. Thank you, Yoko. Yoko says, great work, Stephen. Great, Stephen. Thank you, Yoko. Olaf, it says, my PC is so slow, but getting there soon. Marcus says he's not going to look at anything except his watch. What, not even the Eiffel Tower when we go past that at 19 miles or so? 30k in. At 30 kilometres in, we will pass the Eiffel Tower. But if Marcus and I are focused, we won't even see it. We will just fly straight past it at 14 minutes 15 seconds per kilometre, 6 minutes 50 per mile. Marcus says the Eiffel Tower is overrated. Oh yeah, Sarah Jacobs says, I'm going to be starting so much later than you guys. Sarah, what is that? Are you in for the 4 hour zone? Yeah, you'll be about half an hour to 45 minutes later than us starting. So me and Marcus are in the front pack, in the red sub 3 hour zone. And yeah, by the time Sarah Jacobson and Victoria start running, yeah, we'll already be 45 minutes in, so 10k in. Marcus says he's going to be running so fast his sweat will splash onto the Eiffel Tower. Right, Olaf has joined us. Hi, Olaf. And he's getting up to speed now. I am creeping towards level 28. But yeah, if you're just joining us, I am not doing the full run. I am going to log off after a little while. Sarah Jacobson will take the yellow beacon, hopefully, if it all works well. And I will continue live streaming, but I'm not allowed to run much further than 5k tonight. I'm just going to try and get to level 28, and then we'll see what happens. Be the Tortoise says, I keep being told to run by feel, but that seems dangerous to a newbie. Yeah, it's an interesting thing, isn't it? See, for a new runner, I would say that running to your watch is actually quite good because it will teach you pacing. And it's quite good to keep you grounded. So new runners, inexperienced runners, have a tendency to go off too fast and then burn out later in the run. Whereas if you have your watch or a pacer, then it keeps you grounded, it keeps you from being too over exuberant at the beginning of a race, holds you back a little bit and allows you to do a measured race. And I've always been one for even splits all through my running career. All through my running career, I've said even splits is the way to go. So your first kilometre should be exactly the same pace as your final kilometre in something like a marathon or a half marathon. Because it's so important not to burn out later on in the run. Jeff Partridge says he would say that a new runner needs to concentrate on the heart rate rather than pace. Another good way to look at it, yeah. You know, a new runner will often run everything in zones 4 and 5. Everything as hard as they can. And that's just not an efficient way to run. So new runners, you know, running to heart rate will keep you in zones 1, 2 and 3 for your training runs. New runners often do their training at full pelt. And they don't need to. Obviously, we know that as experienced runners. Be the Tortoise says, yes, my heart rate soon tells me if I'm overdoing it. Marcus says, at least we can agree that stride is not the answer. Stride power, running power. Okay, so yeah, I've been talking about even pacing and how you should run every kilometre the same. Now, the difference being a more experienced runner, and I often equate this to photography again as well. When you learn photography, you learn some basic rules of photography. And one of them, for example, would be to always photograph your subject with the sun behind you. Obviously, because it then lights the subject and the colours look brighter and more saturated. It's a more pleasing photograph. However, when you're an experienced photographer, you turn that on its head and you will quite often photograph into the sun to get specific lighting effects and to create mood and emotion. And it's the same in running. When you become more experienced, you do break some of those rules. And what I've been learning in the past week about running to field is that you can go off too fast, or not too fast, but you can go off a little bit faster than you would normally, and you can have splits that are not even when you run to field, because you have the experience and the confidence to be able to manage the race appropriately without burning out and without crashing and burning, because of your experience, you know how to push yourself, and you know when you're going too hard, and you know when you need to push a bit harder. And Stuart told me about this morning, my 5k. He said, your last kilometre should not be your fastest, because if you're going all out for the fastest time you can possibly get, when you get to your 5th kilometre, you should be absolutely busting a gut and not be able to put in anything else, because you've bust the gut for the entire run. So, and that goes opposite to what I often preach, which is, if you can make your final kilometre your fastest kilometre, that means you've paced evenly and well throughout the race, meaning you've got something left in the tank at the end to push. I'm waffling on an awful lot, aren't I? Heather says, which heart rate zone do you run in a marathon? Zone 3. So unless you're an elite runner, generally a marathon is run in zone 3. Towards the top of zone 3, so touching on zone 4, but generally the top of zone 3. Half marathon, you would run it in zone 4, to the middle of zone 4 maybe. 5k, you would run in zones 4 and 5. So you'd start out in zone 4 and hit zone 5. So the shorter the race and the harder you go, then the higher your heart rate will be. The longer the race, the more you need to conserve energy and be consistent and I'm searching for a word. Efficient. And the more you need to be efficient in your running. So for a marathon or for an ultra run, you would try and keep your heart rate in zone, well, for an ultra, zone 2 and 3. For a marathon, zone 3 and 4. But it's different for everyone. It's different for everyone. So there's sometimes are differences between men and women. There are differences between a 20-year-old and a 60-year-old. And there are some physiological differences. I mean, obviously we know some runners on here. Amanda Allison, for example, rarely runs anything below 180 BPM, and that's just her heart rate. But in general, a general rule of thumb is what I've just said. I think I'm going to open the doors because it's getting a bit hot in here. Sarah Jacobson has a naturally high heart rate as well, she says. Jeff Partridge says, I've run whole ultras in zone 5. Oh dear. Be the Torso says, sorry I keep asking stuff. No, that's what I'm here for. You keep asking away. Keep asking questions. It's absolutely fine. Keeps me going. Keeps the time ticking away as well. And, we all learn something. I'm not here to just spout off information all the time. I want you guys to come back at me if you disagree, or B, if you have other information that's useful to people. And everyone's got their own experience. There are people running with us today with vast amounts of experience of running marathons or any races. I mean, Jeff Partridge is one. Jeff has got huge experience. Jason Mitchell is the UK age group champion for ultra distance running. The British age group champion. Yeah, I know. Jeff Partridge says, don't worry, I'll tell you if I think you're wrong, Stephen. Yeah, that is true enough. I'm not sure. I don't know if I've got all of the chat. So I apologise if I'm missing any chat. But we are very close. I am very close to level 28 now. So I think I am going to stay. So it's probably going to be 6, maybe 7 kilometres of running until I get to level 28. But once I get there, I will log off the run, hand over to Sarah Jacobson for the in-game chat. Not that I've done much of that, to be honest. And carry on live streaming for the remainder of the run. Going at a fair pace tomorrow morning, so we've got 20 miles to do tomorrow, but at a relatively speedy clip. Half an hour gone just like that, says Jackie. Yes, 30 minutes down. Jason says, I'm definitely no champion in running. Well, the thing is though, Jason, you are. You can only beat the people who turn up at the race. And you turned up at the race and you beat whoever was there, and you are legitimately the UK age group ultra running middle distance champion. And that nobody can take that away from you, and they shouldn't even try to. Right, Sarah Jacobson wants to increase the time for next week, so it's a 2-hour run for the final run. Would you like to do that? I'm quite happy to run 2 hours next week. There's 4.5k done. For me, anyway. Four and a half kilometres done for the Beacon group. Sarah Jacobson is proposing a 2-hour run for the final Paris Marathon long run next week. Oh, Sarah Jason, apparently. Apparently, somebody called Sarah Jason is proposing a 2-hour run for next week. A 2-hour live stream, says Marcus. Yes, Sarah. It's somebody really important that you don't know. Oh no! Pizza? Sarah Pizza? What's this pizza business? So Marcus wants to set live stream with Sarah Jacobson next week. Olaf says low aerobic base miles will change your running dramatically. Absolutely. Yeah, I am totally with that. You know I always go on about 80-20 running. Lots of low aerobic miles. It remains to be seen whether we will be doing the Paris Marathon long run training next year. Who knows, comma. It might be the London Marathon training sessions. Right, Jeff doesn't want a noisy night down the pub, Sarah. So Marcus and Sarah, you need to be on your best behaviour if we do a 2-hour live stream next week. But also, this is partly my fault because I need to get the audio levels correct. So it doesn't sound like Marcus is shouting, and it doesn't sound like you guys are talking over the top of each other. Right, I'm coming up to 5k, so look, there's only a tiny little bit left of my level 27, so let's get that done. Let's get that little bit out of the way. Right, so Marcus, I'm trying to defend you, Marcus. I said it. I need to organise the levels so it doesn't sound like Marcus is shouting. But Marcus says I am shouting, though. Okay. The loud Americans have been warned. Right, Sarah Jacobson stopped for some reason. She's so offended by Jeff Partridge that she's refusing to go any further. I'm handing over to you in a minute, Sarah. Don't stop. Maybe I should be offended as well because I talk a lot. Do I not sound like a noisy night down the pub then, Jeff? Right, Sarah's back up and running. Toilet break. Was it a comfort break? Oh no, she stopped again. There is a V Hill up ahead from Canada. My granddad was V Hill. Died aged 94 in 2010. Victor Hill. Yeah, right. You know, the sensible ones amongst us went before we started, Sarah. Get with the programme. Were you not taught this in primary school? If you're going to do something, you need to go to the loo before you start. Okay. Right, let's curtail this conversation here. Marcus is off. Marcus has got to go for I think he's got a work call or something he needs to do. So Marcus is off. Take care, Marcus. Thank you very much for joining. We'll see you very soon. 2 weeks to go to Paris. Edging slowly towards level 28. Victoria has popped in. Victoria is off to a gig tonight. There she is. Look at her, all dressed up in her rock gear. She's going to be heavy metal headbanging tonight. Yeah, can you open? Yeah, if you could just leave the door open. Oh, yes, please. No. Oh, no. Yeah. Yeah, Jevon let me know that as well. I said, oh, yeah. Sarah Jacobson. Victoria is going to see a rock band who she's friends with the keyboard player. So there used to be, well, there still is a rock band called Magnum, who were around in the 80s, or they were kind of at their height in the 80s, and or was it the 90s? Late 80s, early 90s. They were they weren't uber famous, but they were kind of, they did relatively well, let's say. And Victoria met them when she was very young and actually went on tour and Victoria was the person who sold t-shirts and merchandise for this band called Magnum. Now since then, the keyboard player has left the band and formed his own band, and that's the band that Victoria is going to see tonight. Sarah Jacobson says, Victoria is so cool, how did you land her? Hang on a minute. Don't just wait one cotton picking minute. I used to be a pop star, you know. How did Victoria land me is the question you need to be asking. I was cool once. I used to be cool. Yeah, I'm very lucky. Victoria is definitely very cool. Or at least in a certain circle of musical genre. No, alright, okay, I am seriously offended. Was I in a boy band? And now Jeff Partridge, one-hit wonder Stephen. You guys are so rude. I don't know why I stick with you. Yeah, Ryan Downey says you were cool, and then you took your wedding ring out. You moved the nose ring to a wedding ring. Yeah, I was cool. That's a good way of putting it. I was cool, and then I took the nose ring out, and it became a wedding ring. And now I'm no longer cool. Heather says, have a lovely night, Victoria. Victoria will be in again. She's just making me a cup of coffee, because as you all know, I like to drink coffee while I run. So she's making me a coffee, and then she will be leaving. And she's taking our daughter Elsa. Our teenage daughter is going to her first intimate gig, as opposed to a big stadium gig. She's been to see Ariana Grande, and we are going to see The Weeknd. We're going to see them in July. But they're big stadium gigs. And Elsa has never been to like a small gig in a pub or a small venue, so that's what they're going to tonight. Heather says, talking about going to the restroom in the middle of a run. Heather says Mr. Vindaloo. Yeah, okay. Point taken. I have in the past had to jump off the treadmill and go and use the facilities after having had a Vindaloo. 6 kilometres done. Sarah Jacobson says it's the travel that's messed with her system. Okay, fair enough. I have been called out, so I can't complain at you anymore, Sarah. I reckon we're going to hit level 28 by the time I get to 7 kilometres. So it'll be 7 kilometres tonight for me. And then I can put my jumper on, my sweater, put my sweater on, and I can talk you through the rest of the session, which will be about an hour to go by the time we finish this kilometre. Gigs back in the day, says Heather. Pints being thrown and cigarettes. At least that's what it was like in Glasgow. Well, Heather, I have played at the Barrowlands in Glasgow, and yes, that is exactly what it was like back then. Yeah, Barrowlands was amazing. What a venue Barrowlands is in Glasgow. Such a cool venue. Thousands of people. It seems like thousands of people. And yeah, just big rowdy Scotsmen chucking pints of beer at you on the stage. Madness. Jason Mitchell is going to see Above and Beyond at the Printworks. Is that Manchester? I think I've been to the Printworks before. So Above and Beyond at the Printworks in a few weeks. He says he can't wait for that. Jackie Ramos says there's a bunch of Zwifters going to Chicago. Will we see you there? She says, I'm not running, but I will be happy to meet up at the marathon. So, yeah, Sarah says, keep me posted. So, Chicago Marathon. There will be a few people turning up to that. Okay, maybe I haven't been to the Printworks, and Printworks is in London. Heather says, you must have been properly rubbish, Stephen, if they were throwing pints at you. Yeah, we probably were, to be honest. They were all waiting for headline act. Don't believe for 1 second that we were a good enough band to be the headline act. We were just the support act at the Barrowlands. Yeah. Right, 6.5 kilometres done. So, yes, we are going to tick over to 28 in a minute. Level 28 is on the way. And then I'm going to stop. There we are, weekly goal met of 50k. So I'm glad I did carry on, because I've now done my 50k weekly Zwift goal. Another 10 XP added. We'll get another 5 in a minute, or another 10, because it is double XP, even though we're not seeing it on screen. So 400 calories coming up. There we go, 5 XP it says, but I think it's 10. So almost certainly by the time I reach 7k, we will hit level 28. And Amazon delivery at the front door. Jason Mitchell says, it sounds like a scene from Train Spotting, Heather. At gigs in Glasgow. Yes, absolutely. To be honest, I can't remember getting hit by a pint of beer, but remember, they all served in plastic pint glasses, so it wasn't like they were throwing glass bottles at you or anything. It's like, it's just, and I think it's all in jest. You know, they drink half of their pint, and then they would throw the other half in the plastic cup at the stage. Not particularly aiming at anyone, I don't think. But they fly through the air so slowly that they're quite easy to dodge. Right, Ryan Downey is going to be speeding up in a minute, I think. Ryan Downey's going to go at his race pace shortly. So good luck with that, Ryan. Enjoy. Does everyone feel fitter than they were in January. Heather says at least it was beer they were throwing at you. Well, I can't be sure because it's the same colour, isn't it? So I don't know. Right, Tina Beard has done her 30 minutes at goal pace, so now she can relax and chat. Oh, we're so close to level 28 now, and I am just about to hit 7k. Olaf is walking to 4 kilometres. My legs are a bit sore from yesterday's long run. No worries, Olaf. Take it easy. So Olaf's going to walk his way to 4k. Just relax and be comfortable. Don't get yourself injured for Paris, Olaf. Do not get injured for Paris. He says, I don't know what that says about my fitness. Ha! So I've just asked, how does everybody feel? Like, do you feel like you are fitter now than you were in January? If you've been taking part in the Paris Marathon training sessions, so the interval sessions on a Wednesday and the long runs on a Sunday, and you've been doing your own training as well as that, do you feel like you're fitter? Do you feel like you're ready for whatever race you have planned? John Farrell says, amazing park run this morning, Mr. C, very impressive. Thank you very much, John, cheers. Yeah, I went for it a bit this morning at parkrun. Decided I wanted to see what I could do if I didn't look at the watch and just ran as hard as I could for 20 minutes or for 5k, and we did okay. Tina Beard says she's fitter but not as fit as she wanted to be. Do you know what? That is often the way though, isn't it? We have these goals, we have these kind of high goals that we'd like to achieve, and often it's good to set the bar high. It's good to set the bar high though, Tina. It's too easy to set the bar low. Okay, it must be the next drop of XP. I can't see any space now in the orange bar line there. Thank you very much. Yeah, I don't need it. Oh yeah, Victoria has allowed me to have her Maltesers, by the way. Heather, by the way, says, have a great night. Everyone else is saying that you're really cool because you're going to a gig. She also smells of perfume. Victoria reeks of a rock chick today. Are you going to come and say hello or goodbye or something?
Hello everyone, sorry I can't join you tonight. I did, however, get my 20-mile run in this morning. It was raining, it was miserable, but I got it done. Got 2 weeks to Paris. This was my last long run. I don't know how I'll manage a marathon though.
Right, so Victoria's off to her gig with our daughter. Jackie says less than an hour to go. I'm still waiting. I'm now on 7.5 kilometres. At this rate, I'll be doing 10 kilometres. Heather, I'm waiting to level up to level 28. There we go! Fruit socks. Juicy. Fruit socks, a go-go. I am now on level 28. I am going to slow down and stop. 7.5k will do just fine for me this evening. Jeff Partridge says, I feel better than I did at the end of January, but I was really quite ill for a month or so after the spine. Still a long way to go to get back to where I was. Jeff, Victoria and I watched the the daily updates of the spine in succession last night. All 8 or 9 episodes of the 2023 spine race. We didn't actually see Jeff in any of them, though, did we? Where were you? We saw James Elson, and we saw Kim Collison and Damien Hall, and a few other people, and a guy who I ran with towards the end of TDS from Ireland, a guy called David. He was on the spine shows last night, but didn't see Jeff. Anyway, Yoko says, "Great Victoria, take a rest after your long run today." Olaf is still walking to 4K. Well, Sarah has just said she's saving her next Malteser until the next run. I'm saving my Malteser for the next run, although she has spelt Malteser with a Z. Or with a Z, as they say in the States. Are we going to allow her to do that? Well, I'm not sure we should, to be honest. Jeff was in the previous year's Spine film when I was on the safety team. Okay. And we saw Lindley Chambers as well. Oh, right. Sarah says it was voice to text, so she didn't deliberately spell it with a Z. One of the big problems, about broadcasting to multiple different nations is pronunciation of words, and Z and Z are one of them. And also saying things like autumn or fall, or pavement and sidewalk, all these different things, lift or elevator. We have to mind our language a lot of the time and try and get it right for everyone. Right, I'm going to log out. Hopefully this means that Sarah Jacobson will get the yellow beacon and lead you all on through the next 56 minutes of the run. I am going to stay here. I am going to keep chatting. And in fact, I'm more able to chat now. So if you want to drop any messages into Facebook, YouTube or Twitch, I am going to keep my eyes on the chat. I'm also going to keep my eyes in game as well. Actually, that's a point. I won't be able to because I will have logged out. That's a problem. I can't actually log out, can I, Sarah? Because if I'm going to keep the game on, I can't actually log out, can I? Damn it. Oh well. Right, I am keeping... Sorry, Sarah. I am actually keeping the yellow beacon then. But I will put you on. So... Sarah's the leader from now on, although... Right, there she is. She's got a ride on from me. Yoko says, thank you, Stephen. Sarah Jacobson's hostile takeover plans have now been ruined. But there she... Look, at least her avatar is on screen. Bringing us through the next 56 minutes of the run. I thought you were going. Right, Victoria is going. She's off. Thank you very much for joining us. Appreciate it. Right, so... Do you know what? I actually thought I was... I don't know why I didn't realise that I couldn't actually leave. That's ridiculous. I'm going to put a jumper on, though, to keep me warm. And I've got coffee and Maltesers to make me fat. Right, contact details on screen. If you ever want to get in touch with Film My Run, other than via Zwift... they're gone now. And also that needs changing. That's a bit awry. There we go. Sarah Jacobson says now she can leave early if she wants to as well. I can't believe I didn't think that I couldn't log out. Well, I don't want her to be late. Victoria said she was leaving at 10 to 7, and she was still standing here at 5 to 7. Sarah Jacobson says the coup has already started with us taking over the Film by Run channel. So I don't know if it's happening, but next week it may well be another American takeover. Sarah and Marcus might. We haven't confirmed it yet because Sarah is very busy at the moment. We may be able to to have Sarah and Marcus taking over the live stream next week. We may also do 2 hours because, well, it would be nice to have a round number at the end of our Paris Marathon training session. We'll have to see. Just 10k for Jeff Partridge. He's knackered this week despite only hitting 30 miles of running this week. Tina says put your jumper on. Yeah, do need to keep warm. Tina is leaving in 4 minutes. Play nicely, children. Thanks and well done, Jeff and what I could do is I could nip through the pack actually and give kudos to everyone. Heather says, yeah, you'll get there, Jeff. Yeah. I honestly think even now, probably, Jeff, the spine is still having an effect on your fatigue levels. It's one heck of an undertaking. Having watched the films last night, basically what happens is that, I mean, you've heard of the spine race, if you haven't, 268 miles across the Pennine Way in winter in the UK. Widely regarded as the toughest ultra in the UK. So Jeff Partridge took part in that. Didn't quite get all the way, but nevertheless, I watched. So every day during the spine race, and bear in mind it takes 7 days for some people to complete this run. So 7 days of running. There is a short film made every day of the events of that day on YouTube. And so Victoria and I watched all 7 or 8 episodes of the programs last night about the spine. And when you see the kind of equipment that they have to carry, the weight of it, how long they're awake for, you know, and the conditions that they're running through, it is an incredible event and mind-boggling how some people manage to complete it, and especially the people at the front. Well, everyone, the people at the front who do it in 80, 90 hours on about 2 hours of sleep for the whole time. And then, also, of course, the other people who are at the back taking a full 7 days to do it. You know, sleeping at the aid stations for a few hours, then getting up and it's not really, you know, it's not really a run for them. It's a hike, a long hike every day, in the day and through the night. So yeah, amazing. Be the Tortoise says, yeah, I've seen some of that spine stuff. Insane. Brainwash says, hopefully you'll get better soon, Jeff. And yeah, Jeff says thanks to Squished and Heather. Oh yeah, it's brain squished, isn't it? Not brain what? Why do I keep seeing brainwashed? Brainwashed, brain squished. You should have corrected me about that. Brain squished. I'll try and remember to say that next time. Right, Sarah Jacobson is on 9 kilometres. Let me just get my keyboard and we'll try and go through. Johan Furley is running with us as well today. Just seen him up the top there. Let's whiz through and give some people a ride on. So actually, Johan is at the top there. He's running the quickest of everyone at the moment. Well done to him. In his blue vest. DL from the USA is right behind, in fact. Ryan Downey is pushing. He's doing his race pace for, I think, is it 8 miles or 8 kilometres? I can't remember. And he probably isn't able to speak and tell us. But Ryan Downey is doing race pace at the moment for a specific period of time during this session. Johnston from Canada is there. Who is? Bear with me a second. Robert Johnston. So Robert Johnston is from Canada. He is currently on 10k, just over 10k in. Brain Squish says you're grand. Most people say Brian squashed. Nice. So that's okay then. Right. Tina is strolling, but she's already done 9.3k, so she's already done her hard effort for this session, and she is just relaxing. Just overtaken by Paul Hayward there. But Paul Hayward also at 9.3k in, running through the beautiful landscape of France at the moment, by the river. And here's Sarah Jacobson, who I've already given a ride on to, all in her blue shirt, blue vest as well. So a lot of us are sporting our swag from levelling up. Let me just get back onto the screen where people can be seen rather than me. There we go. Campbell, well done to Campbell. He's on 9.2k, wearing his ZLDR top. Jackie's on 8.8k, making her way through the Paris Marathon training long run today. And is Yoko with the red beacon. For some reason I cannot see Yoko's red beacon, but I am assured Yoko does have the red beacon, and I don't know, presumably other people can see that Yoko has the red beacon. Right, Segador from Spain is running at ridiculous speed. What the heck is that? Is that accidental, or is that him playing the game? Heart rate 77. I don't think that's. Tina can't see the red beacon, and Jackie Ramos can't see the red beacon. But Yoko assures me that she does have the red beacon, so that's a bit odd. Yeah, Yoko confirming again she does have the red beacon. So why some other people can't see it, I don't know. Ryan Downey, Yoko! It's a secret red beacon, says Jackie, yeah. Sarah Jacobson says she is suspicious of that guy. Yeah, well, you would be, wouldn't you? I mean, no heart rate. Well, it flashed up 77 BPM a minute ago, so that's a bit odd. Yeah, Segador on for a marathon world record. Absolutely. Who's this? Who is that? Runette from Canada. He's on 8k. Olaf has gone beyond 4 kilometres. 4.5 kilometres now for Olaf. Well done. Yeah, Be the Tortoise says, yeah, I'll have what he's having. I know. It's difficult. I mean, you know. That's not a mistake, is it? Because they would have corrected it by now. He's still running at 2:24 per kilometre. There's Jason Mitchell. Jason's now at 7 kph. 7 kilometres in his red top, making his way through. Heart rate 138 for Jason. Good work, Jason. Well done. So let's nip back up to our pseudo leader, Sarah. Victoria very kindly went and got me a coffee. So, oh, hang on a minute. There it is. There's my coffee and my pink travel mug. I think I might stop the camera angle, the scenes changing so much, because now that I'm not running, it doesn't make any sense for me to be centre stage, does it, on the screen? Mind you, it's nice to have it change out every so often. I'll leave it as it is, that's all right. everyone training for a race, feeling like they for a full. Yeah, I hope if you're training for a race, I really do hope you are feeling like you're ready. Oh, right. Yoko, keep with Jackie if you can. Keep with Jackie. 27 miles total for Jason Mitchell today. He is done in. So he says, that's it for me. No worries, Jason. Well done. Well done to Jason. We'll stop 27 miles total for today. So Yoko is going to try and stay with Jackie Ramos. Yoko, where do you live in the USA? Whereabouts are you? Jackie Ramos says, my hips need you for power, Yoko. Heather says, wow, impressive, Jason. Paul Hayward says, well done, Jason. And Brain Squished says, wow, great going, Jason. Yeah, good work, Jason. 27 miles is a lot today. Right, Yoko is in Indiana State. Capital of Indiana State, of course, is Indianapolis. Indianapolis. I was going to say Indianapolis. Indianapolis. I know all my US state capitals, you know. Oh yeah. You don't need to ask me any state and I will tell you the capital just like that off the top of my head. No, seriously, don't test me because I've probably forgotten them all. Segador is still going like a crazy guy. Tina Beard says, great work, everyone. Thanks for the company. See you all next week. Yes, Tina. Take care. Have a good day tomorrow, and we'll see you next week. Jason Mitchell says, cheers. Catch you all on the next one. Have a great rest of the weekend. Thank you, Jason. Anyone doing a long run tomorrow? Level 25 for Jackie Ramos. Well done, Jackie. Congratulations, Jackie, on level 25. Nice one, Jackie. YouTube.com/film my run. So we have two YouTube channels. We have this one, which is the Zwift Run channel, and we have the Film My Run channel. So the Zwift Run channel is where we do all the live streams, and the Film My Run channel is where we have all our recorded content of outdoor runs. I'm sure everyone knows, but just to let you know again. So Sarah Jacobson's coming up to 11k. Paul Hayward as well. Johnson is already on nearly 12k. Johnson is on. Oh, I've just realised Segador is actually on nearly 36 kilometres at his crazy pace of 2:24 per kilometre. Fast catching Ryan Downey up ahead there, who's just hit 13 kilometres. Olaf did his long run yesterday. Today is a rest day. 45 minutes easy running tomorrow. Sarah Jacobson says, I'm going to do my long run tomorrow since I'm quitting early today. Good luck. Sarah Jacobson says, I think the full distance was probably ambitious for me today. Sarah Jacobson, remind me, which direction across the Atlantic do you get jet lag? Is it going from the USA to England, or is it the other? Is it going from England to the USA? Because I've only done that like twice in my life. Got it worse going west. Never. Okay, so from England back to the US then. Okay. Yeah. Olaf says it's taper time, so happy to let the body recover from all the training. Going east is easier because you just have to stay up, and then once you have that first night's sleep, you are usually set. Yeah. It would be a long way to go east to get to the USA. Well, getting that world is flat, so going to a big ice wall. You'd never get to the USA that way. You just hit the ice wall at the end of the earth. 11 kilometres now for Sarah Jacobson. I'm going to stick with Sarah Jacobson because the longer I stick with her, the more paranoid she'll be about stopping. So she'll just have to go to the end with, she'll be too embarrassed to call it a day, and she'll just have to keep running. It's a cunning ploy that I'm not going to tell her about. She says peer pressure does not work on me. I tell you what, the delay here is very good, isn't it? The delay must be a couple of seconds, if that. It's very good today. Must have a good internet connection today. Soupy Campbell is just hitting 11 kilometres. Sarah Jacobson says it looks like it's about 3 to 4 seconds delay. Really good. Sometimes it can be up to 20, 30 seconds, can't it? But today, actually, no. I mean, it's quite often it's... Oh, right. Jackie Ramos has a 13-second delay, she says. And yeah, quite often it is around that, isn't it? I was going to say 10 to 15 seconds. So, yeah. But we must have a good connection to the USA today, then. Sarah Jacobson says, I'm going to wrap it up now. She has hit her limit today, and she's going to catch us on the next live stream. Or she's going to catch us on this stream, so she's just going to stop now, but come back and join in the chat. So we've got Ryan Downey. We've instantly got to Ryan. I guess that's fair enough. Ryan wearing his orange Zwift top. Well done, good work, and thank you, Sarah. Live on screen now. Crossing the bridge, it's Ryan Downey. He's on 14 kilometres and he is at race pace, which is 4:50 per kilometre. Of course, he's probably working in miles. I don't know what that is in miles. Is it 720? No. Maybe it's 7 something per mile. Jackie says, bye, Sarah. Beautiful part of the course, by the way, this. The bit that Ryan is running over now, the bridge. Very nice indeed. If you're watching the live stream, by the way, on YouTube or Twitch or Facebook, hello, nice to have you with us. Do drop a question in the chat there if you want me to ask and answer anything. Zwift related, running related, anything within reason, I am willing to give a go at answering. Olaf says, folks doing their long run tomorrow, what distances are you doing? I'm going to do... Oh, right. Ryan Downey says it's set. His treadmill is set to 7.9 miles per hour, so nearly 8 miles per hour. I'm doing 20 miles tomorrow, Olaf. Two Maltesers going in my mouth right now. Jackie is just a little bit ahead of Yoko. Yoko's trying to stay with her, but she's a second or so behind. I think Yoko's tiring a little. Just keep it together, Yoko. You don't need to go fast. Just relax. Take it easy. Sarah Jacobson is doing 14 or 15 miles tomorrow. Outdoors or on the treadmill, Sarah? Olaf says, wow, so close to the marathon. Guess that's why you're going sub 3. Yeah, I think it's just because I generally think that I'm okay at recovery. And mind you, don't tell my coach Stuart that I'm doing this. I'll get told off. But I think 2 weeks will be all right to recover from a 20 miler. Should be okay. But that will be my long run. That will be my last long run. I'm not going to do anything long next week. Maybe just a 10 miles or something like that. But nothing long at all next week. Sarah Jacobson will be running 14 to 15 miles on the treadmill, most likely tomorrow. Jackie is offering to slow down a bit for Yoko and run with her, which is nice of her. We have just over half an hour left of the event. So we've done 1 hour 18 minutes, nearly 1 hour 20. We are running for 1 hour and 50 minutes. So half an hour left of today's Paris Marathon long run training. We are running in France. Running in France and preparing for the Paris Marathon. So there are 1, 2, 3. I think there are 4 of us in the run today who are doing the Paris Marathon. Ryan Downey is doing. Is it St. Louis? Did you say? Oh, I spoke to Ryan earlier and he told me what marathon he was running. Hold on, I'll tell you. St. Louis, yeah, St. Louis in Missouri. He's doing that. Not sure what everyone else is training for, but everyone is welcome and has been welcome throughout the time that we've been doing the Paris Marathon training sessions. We are on week 11 now, so we've got 1 more week to go, week 12. Next week is the final week, and then we've got 1 week of relaxing, preparing before we do the Paris Marathon. And Ryan's race is also on the 2nd of April, so he's got the same amount of time. And we're following Ryan now. He is running at nearly 8 miles per hour, 4:51 per kilometre. He's at 15 kilometres. This is his race pace, so this is the pace that he's hoping to go for his race. Sarah Jacobson says, this does not seem like a 2-week taper. Yes, it will be. So tomorrow is the 19th. What time? What date is it? 18th. Yeah, tomorrow's the 19th. That's 2 weeks until the marathon. So we've got a 2-week taper as of tomorrow. It'll be fine. We'll be fine, Sarah. We will be fine. Nice to see Jackie and Yoko staying together. Good work. Jackie Ramos, 17. Is that miles or kilometres, Jackie? I think 17 kilometres outside yesterday for Jackie. 17 kilometres inside today for Jackie Ramos. Oh, right. Sarah Jacobson says, I thought you were doing a 3-week taper. Well, I am. I am doing a 3-week taper, but it doesn't mean... it just means I'm doing fewer miles in total for the week. So I had planned that this week was going to be a 100-mile week, and it isn't. It's going to be about, hang on a minute, 75 miles. So it's nowhere near a 100-mile week. So I've basically reduced the number of miles that I'm doing in the week. The 20-mile long run tomorrow is fine. I'm sure I can recover from that well in time for the marathon. And I'm going to reduce the mileage more next week. So I'll probably do about 90 to 100k next week. So that's 60 miles, just under 60 miles next week. And then obviously, almost nothing the week after the marathon week. So I am kind of tapering. Rather than tapering, let's call it just reducing the mileage. That's what I'm doing. Karim Gamer says, what is the time you're aiming for the marathon? I'm trying to go under 3 hours. So I've only done it once before. Well, twice before if you count my treadmill marathon. So I did in December 2020. So 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I did a sub 3 hour marathon. So 2 hours 58 in December the 6th, I think it was. And then 2 weeks after that, I did another sub 3 hour marathon on the treadmill. So I guess I've done it twice. I want to do another sub 3 hour marathon. Sarah Jacobson says, remind me, have you run a sub 3 hour marathon before? I don't like to talk about it, Sarah. I'm not going to mention it because I don't want to feel like I'm bragging or I've got a big head or anything like that. It's enough to blow your own trumpet sometimes. I'm just not that kind of guy. I'm too humble to keep going on about it, really. But yes, I have. Okay. Right. Paul Hayward says, I'm just beginning to get into this run now. Nice one, Paul. Paul's at nearly 13 kilometres. Johnson is at 14 kilometres. Ryan Downey is nearly at 10 miles in. Johan Furley is at 10 miles in, as is David L. I think it's David. David L. Yeah, David L is at 10 miles. Johan is at 10 miles. Ryan Downey is just almost at 10 miles. R. Johnson is Robert Johnson. Robert Johnson from Canada is on 14 kilometres, so 15 miles. 9 miles, sorry. Paul, just getting into the run, and he's nearly at 13k in. Jackie Ramos just about to hit 12k with Yoko. Those runners still going. Kudos to you. Well done. Nice work. Minutes left. Just got to take it nice and easy. Get to the end. Here's me saying get to the end, and I'm the one who stopped at 7.5k. But there we are. Sometimes we have to be overly careful and overly sensible. So I am just making sure that I take it easy and don't go overly. Too many miles in a week. I need to reduce the number of miles. Jackie says, thank you for making this spot. Well, I haven't made... okay, we've put on the event, but you guys are the guys running, and you're doing really well. Thank you very much for taking part as well, everybody. It's so nice that we've had such a good response to both the interval sessions and the long runs. Really, really good attendance at both of those events each week. So really pleased with those. Thank you, guys. Both the long run and the interval sessions have been very well attended, so thank you very much. So we have one more long run and one more interval session. Wednesday is the interval session next week, and Saturday for the long run. The long run may well be able to make it 2 hours next week, and I promise I need to make sure I am going to be there. I'm pretty certain I'm going to be there. So we are going to run 2 hours at the request of Sarah Jacobson. Rather than doing 1 hour 55, which is what was planned, we'll do 2 hours next week. to bring our Paris Marathon long run training to a close. We have one more interval session on Wednesday, which is going to be the Joe Pavey 90-second interval. So 90 seconds of hard work, 90 seconds of recovery, 90 seconds of hard work, 90 seconds recovery, times 8. So we do that 8 times. So that's on Wednesday at 6 p.m. UK time, 7 p.m. Central European time, and ridiculously mid-morning, lunchtime, USA time, I think, something like that. What? Hang on a minute. 6 o'clock. So that would make it 1 p.m. Eastern time and 10 a.m. No, 1 p.m. West Coast and 10 a.m. East Coast. If you're in California, it'll be 10 a.m. And if you're in New York, it will be 1 p.m. That's what I think. Okay, Ryan Downey has done a tremendous job looking after the live stream on Zwift for the last half an hour or so. So we'll put Jackie and Yoko on now. 20 minutes to go. Just over 20 minutes to go. Time for another Malteser. The thing about Maltesers is they're best eaten when the packet is newly opened because if you leave the packet open for a long time, the shine goes off the chocolate. Usually Maltesers have a beautiful shine to them, but if you leave the packet open, let the air get to them, the shine goes quite quickly. So you do need to, once you've opened a packet of Maltesers, you do need to eat them quickly. This packet, they've been open for a little while, and so I don't know if you can see, but the shine isn't really there anymore on them. They've gone a bit dull. Paul says your Malteser pace is good. Well, it's not as good as Victoria's. Victoria is very good at having one Malteser every 15 minutes. I tend to have one every time my hand goes near the box. That is my Malteser pace. So next week, right, what have we got next week? Tour of Watopia is still on and will be on for quite some time because they're taking at least 2 weeks to get through each stage. So next week, let's have a look. I think on Tuesday, we should be up to stage 3. Let's have a look. Monday, Tuesday the 21st. Tuesday the 21st, Tour of Watopia at 6 o'clock. Is it stage 3? Yes. 5.1 kilometers, dust in the wind is the route. So let's enter that. So let me just... Oh, I can't do it, can I? Because my buttons are not working. Dust in the wind, 5.1 kilometers, Tour of Watopia, stage 3 on Tuesday. That's what we'll be doing. 6 p.m. UK time, 7 p.m. Central European time, lunchtime in the USA. That's Tuesday. Monday, it will be Clive Finnemore and the Monday community run. Of course, we've got the Film My Run 500. Now, next week I will do the Film My Run 500, but the week of the marathon I won't be doing any Film My Run 500 climbing. So I won't be around for Film My Run 500 in 2 weeks' time. Next week is okay, but the week after I won't be doing it. Wednesday next week, we have the Paris Marathon training session. So let's just have a look at that. Actually, why don't I just load up... Hang on a second. If I just load up the ZCA app on the screen here, so you can see what I'm doing. Because my buttons aren't working today, I need to just find the actual scene. Here we go. There it is. Okay, so 6 p.m. There's Wednesday, 22nd of March, 6 p.m. Paris Marathon training, 31 minutes, and there you can see it is the Joe Pavey workout with the 8 yellow intervals there, or the 8 yellow reps with the blue intervals. So let's just enter that one. And then move on to Thursday. Thursday in the morning, we'll have the Film My Run 500. So there's that. So we'll enter that as usual. And then in the evening Thursday, we've got Bag That Badge. I need to remember to change the session so it's the right one. Where are we? Bag That Badge. There we are. Bag That Badge. 7 p.m. It says chili pepper, but it's not going to be chili pepper. It will be John's route. So John's route is 12 kilometers, I think. So next week we'll be doing John's route. Right, we did talk about this last year, Jeff, didn't we? And we never got it done. Jeff Partridge wants to do a Film My Run 1000 climb each week leading up to UTMB TDS. Some of us work during the day and the 500 isn't enough. So I'm going to say yes to that. I see no reason why we can't organise that. So maybe we should do that in place on a Tuesday evening. What do you think? On a Tuesday evening, we do the Film My Run 1000 at 6 o'clock. And that'll take, if we do it at the same rate as we do the 500, it'll take an hour and 20 minutes to do. I think we're all right with that, aren't we? Good, okay. Yeah, we'll set that up. So that's Thursday, and then Friday. What do we normally do Friday? We do the Tour of Watopia again on Friday, won't we? 6 o'clock, Tour of Watopia Stage 3 to get our double XP again. So that's what I'll put in there. So that's that. So that's next week on Zwift and on the Zwift Run channel. Let's put the there's Yoko. So we've got Yoko and Jackie on screen at the moment. Yoko and Jackie are at 13.3 kilometers in, and we have what we're doing, 15 minutes to go? Yeah, 15 minutes to go, 16 minutes to go. Tuesday works for Jeff. So if you're interested, we will set up the Film My Run 1000. So 1,000 meter climb on Zwift during the summer months. So we're talking about June, July and August. So 3 months, June, July and August, we will do 1,000 meter climb on a Tuesday evening each week. So let's just go back to the top again. Johan. Where's my key mouse? There it is. There's Johan. Johan's running at 4:54.55 per kilometre. And he's at 18.5k in. And then we've got David L from the USA just behind. He's also on 18.5k nearly. Ryan Downey just a little bit behind that. He's also approaching 18.5k. Robert Johnston from Canada, he's on 10 miles. Paul Hayward is on 9 miles. Campbell on 14k. And Yoko and Jackie, 13.6 kilometres, approaching the bridge. So we'll stay with Yoko and Jackie again because it's beautiful. Kathy McManus, heart rate definitely won't stay under 150. Well, this is probably true. Yeah, I don't know what we because we've never done that before. We won't know, will we, what the heart rate is likely to go up to. So yeah, we'll just have to see what happens. and we can work it out as the weeks go by. We can work out what is a sensible heart rate to try and stay under. I'll program the workout so that it doesn't go up quite so fast. So we'll start at the same speed as the 500, but we'll stay at 12 for the whole thing, 12% on the treadmill. But we'll do the speed increases half as fast. So instead of going from 6 to 6.5, we'll go from 6 to 6.2, and then 6.2 to 6.5, something like that. So we're increasing half as fast, basically. So across this beautiful bridge, beautiful viaduct in France, I'm sure it is designed after a real viaduct in France, but which one it is, I don't know. But don't panic about the Film My Run 1000. It's not going to start for a few months yet. So it's approaching April. So we'll have April and May. So at least 9-10 weeks. In about 10 weeks' time, we will start the Film My Run 1000. We should call it the Film My Run 1000 with Jeff Partridge, because it was Jeff's idea. Although we did talk about this last year, didn't we? We did talk about this in the run-up to last year's Chamonix experience, and we never actually got round to it. Some supporters there on the left-hand side, just cheering Jackie and Yoko on. This is my favourite tune in the current playlist. I love this tune. It's so chilled. There is a vocal version of this as well, which is very nice. It has got lyrics. Obviously, when I'm live streaming, I prefer just to have music in the background. Some people would prefer to have nothing in the background, and some people would prefer just the music and not me talking over the top of it. Paul Hayward says you're doing great, Jackie and Yoko. 10 minutes to go. 10 minutes left, everyone. See if you stick with it. We will finish off this season of Paris Marathon long runs with a 2-hour run Saturday. Next year, we'll have to see what we do. It depends how many people want to do Paris or whether we change to a different marathon. Sebastian, good evening to you, sir. How are you? Good to have you with us. Yoko's heart rate is 145, so she is comfortable. 145 is a decent heart rate to be at. He says he's back from his day trip. Where have you been, Sebastian? I know you probably told us. You probably told me and I forgot, and I apologise. Where have you been? Yoko, so if you live in Indiana State, if you wanted to go to New York, would you drive or would you fly? How far is it in miles from Indiana, from where you live, to New York? Rotterdam would be a good marathon. When is the Rotterdam Marathon, Jackie? Oh gosh, Sebastian's been to Potsdam today. Wow. Too far to drive, says Yoko. So from Indiana to New York would be too far to drive. So it's definitely a flight. 16th of April for the Rotterdam Marathon. That sounds very tempting. Nice and flat as well, yes. That's tempting, Jackie. Very tempting. So Jackie has got her request in early for next year. The Rotterdam Marathon training series for next year. That's a potential. We'll talk it through. We'll see what people think. Heather says, hello, Sebastian. So what did you think of Potsdam? Was it interesting? I've never seen this before. Sebastian's obviously done an emoji, but it's come up as text, pink hand waving. Whereas Heather has done an emoji, and it's actually come out as the yellow waving hand, but not text. It's actually a yellow waving hand. Whereas Sebastian's done a pink waving hand, but it's come out as text. Heather says we lost signal for quite a while there through the mountains. Oh yes, of course. Heather's on a trip north at the moment. Yoko says next year try New York City, not Boston. The only problem with New York City, Jackie, Yoko, is that it's in November, isn't it? It's at the end of the year, the New York Marathon. Okay, Sebastian's brother lives in Potsdam. Hope you had a good trip, Sebastian. Jackie and Yoko are approaching 15 kilometres in with 5 minutes to go. Just over 5 minutes to go of the run here. Ryan Downey is going to make it to a half marathon by the end of the run. Some people will complete a half marathon by the end of today's run. So it looks like David and Johan and Ryan will all get to a half marathon before the end of the run today. Congratulations to you guys. Well done. Zwift Ace. No, it's not Yoko Ono. No, Yoko Ono is not running with us today, but it is Yoko, and we love Yoko. She's our star, a hero. Sarah Jacobson says, great running, everyone. Sorry I couldn't stick around for the whole run. The whole thing was just listening to my instincts today. Yeah, it's good to go by your instincts, which is what I've done as well today. I stopped running at 7.5k just to preserve myself a little bit for tomorrow's long run. I know a lot of people have their main long run tomorrow. A few of us have stopped a little bit early today. I promise I will do the whole 2 hours next week, though. I promise I will be running for the full 2 hours. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining today. I said earlier, it really has been humbling the amount of love for these sessions that we've seen. Such good attendance for the long runs and for the interval training. Particularly the interval training's gone down really well. A lot of people, even though it's really hard work, we all get together and encourage each other and stick together through those intervals and help each other along. And we finish them absolutely shattered, but really pleased that we've got through them. And that goes for me and for Victoria and for loads of other people who take part in them. We really feel like the community helps us along with them, and often we say that we wouldn't do them that quick if we were on our own. So I think that's true of a lot of the runners who take part in those sessions. So thank you very much to everybody who's took part in them. Even if you were just watching and commenting, your encouragement whilst watching the live stream does help us to get through it. Jeff Partridge says, sorry Heather, not ignoring you, just missed the comment that resulted in your van comment. But yeah, Jeff will be in his van. Sebastian says, I hope that next Saturday I can do my first long run Paris Marathon training session with you. Did you know what, Sebastian? I hadn't realised that you hadn't joined any of the others. Yeah, Ryan says, I love the support and the accountability. Yeah, the accountability is really one thing, isn't it? Because it is about somehow feeling that you don't want to let people down as well, and that you're in a team working together to achieve a goal. And if you don't, that's why I feel a little bit, Sarah Jacobson feels a little bit bad, and I feel a little bit bad for stopping tonight, because we've kind of left you guys to run it out on your own, and that's not what we've been doing. We have been kind of seeing it through the whole thing, but also we do have our own things that we need to deal with sometimes, and we are getting close to the marathon now, so we do need to be careful about exactly what we do. But yeah, I think accountability is a really good point, Ryan. Making sure that we are held to account for the training that we're doing. Yeah, Heather says Sebastian loves the interval training and he'd like it to continue. You're speaking on Sebastian's behalf. Oh, you mean Sebastian, your husband, or Sebastian in the chat there? Jeff Partridge says he definitely doesn't feel bad at all about finishing early. Heather says we're very grateful for these live streams. It's our pleasure, Heather. No worries at all. So we're coming to the end. A couple of minutes to go. Fantastic effort, everyone. Really, really well done. We will see you all again next weekend for the final long run. It's been a fantastic 3 months of work. One more week to go, and I hope you all feel a lot fitter than you did in January. "30 seconds to go, and then we're all done here. Thank you very much for taking part, everyone, and thank you very much for chatting in game. Victoria is on her way to her live gig with our 13-year-old daughter. I'm on the way to the shower. So it's goodbye from Paul Hayward there. Goodbye from Ryan Downey, who's strolling now. Johan Furley, well done to you. Robert Johnson is there. Johnston, well done to him, and he's carrying on a little bit. There's DL and Johan. That's David from the US. There's Johan. Oh. There's Ryan. Sarah Jacobson says, nice job, everyone. See you during the week and next week. Jeff says, well done, everyone. Great effort. Heather says, the other Sebastian. Although I'm sure you love it too, Sebastian. So both Sebastians like the interval sessions and would like them to continue. Well, we won't continue the Paris Marathon training sessions. They will be coming back in some form or another next January. As long as Zwift Running is still around, we will still be around, and we will do something. It could be called next year. It could be called the Rotterdam Marathon training series, or the London Marathon training series. Something else. We were thinking of calling it something else this year, but then Sarah Jacobsen threw a spanner in the works and told us that she was going to Paris. So the entire reason that we have done the Paris Marathon training series this year is because of Sarah Jacobsen. So next year we almost certainly will do something different, but we'll have to see what it is. I think we have about 10 or 11 people coming out to Paris. We will. It is your fault. But the reason I'm blaming you, Sarah, is because it is your fault. It's your fault we've done these past 3 months. All those awful interval sessions are your fault, Sarah Jacobsen. To be honest, though, if we'd done a different marathon, they would have still been the same training sessions, just with a different name. Heather says, fantastic job, runners. Thank you very much for streaming, and thanks, everyone. Paul Hayward, thank you. Have a good night. Don't wait up for Victoria. No, Victoria and our daughter will most probably come back completely drunk. No, they won't. They won't because they're driving. So anyway, there we are. Enough from me. Enough talk. Ryan Downey wants Chicago or Texas next year. Okay, let's see. See if we can afford a trip to Chicago next year. When's the Chicago Marathon? That's in the spring, isn't it? And I don't know when the Texas Marathon, surely Texas Marathon would be too hot. Chicago's a possibility, although expensive as well. Expensive to get in. All American marathons are really expensive, aren't they? Sarah Jacobsen's thinking of doing the Austin Marathon next February. Austin, Texas. Okay, interesting. Chicago Marathon's in October. That's no good. No, we need a marathon in April or May, I think. So we need a marathon in April or May that Victoria and I can afford to go to. Because we're not getting paid by Zwift to go to these marathons. So it has to be one that we can afford to go to. And Rotterdam is a really good option. So Rotterdam is top of the list at the moment. But we'll see what else comes up. Brighton, yeah. Brighton, of course. Could be Brighton. Yeah. The thing is, I've done Paris for the past 11 years. Maybe it's time for a change. I mean, Brighton is a possibility. If people want to come to Brighton, that's like 2 miles down the road. 9 miles. 9 miles down the road from us. Brighton would be dead easy to come to. Newport or Gwent Marathon in Wales is a possibility. Do we want something a bit with a bit of pizzazz? I don't want people to travel from all over the world to come to Newport. Newport. I mean, I've been to Newport, Jeff. You have seen Newport, haven't you? Yeah. I mean, Paris, Newport. I don't know. We'll see. Right, I'm going for my shower. Oh, right. Paul Hayward now says, good idea, Jeff, and the bridge is now free. That's the bridge to get across from England to Wales. Used to have to charge. Jeff Podge says, what are you saying about Newport? Jeff, I've been to Newport. You know exactly what I'm saying. Right, look, I'm going before I get in any more trouble. Thank you, Yoko, Jeff, Paul, Ryan Downey, Sarah Jacobsen, Heather, Jeff, everyone else, everyone who's commented and everyone who's taken part. Take care. Thank you very much. And we will see you all we'll see you on Monday for the community run with for goodness sake, Clive. Thank you very much, Brain. With Clive, and then we'll see you on Tuesday for the Film My Run 500 and tour of Watopia in the evening. Take care, everyone. Have a great rest of your weekend, and see you all soon. Bye bye. Oh, it's done that thing again. It's done that thing again where it doesn't shut off. Oh, for goodness sake. Right, let me find the right page to close off the stream. I can't press my buttons anymore. I'm going to have to spend some time fixing this. My buttons just don't work anymore. Exactly, Paul. Newport is no Worthing. Worthing actually listed as one of the hot spots to move to recently in some magazine I saw.
By
Right, where is this page? Finish logo. There we go. Right, I'm definitely going now. Take care, everyone. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.